Quick look at then the overall picture. Australia winning the game by 44 runs.
Evening, well, 7 matches to go before we know who cricket's new world champions are going to be. And the winners of today's match in the Super Sixes was all but guaranteed a place in next week's semi-finals. Now this man is the leading wicket taker in the World Cup so far, Geoff Allott of New Zealand. And in his sights today, the competition's biggest hitter, Lance Clusener of South Africa. 210 not out so far this World Cup. He's also taken 14 wickets. And amazingly won 4 Man of the Match awards. If he's not enough, there's always Alan Donald and his sunscreen. Back at EDGBASTON today, determined to take South Africa to the top of the table. Well, one very brave punter put £5,000 on Australia to win the World Cup today. But before play began at EDGBASTON, South Africa was still the favourites. And Viv Richards is here to cast his eye over the runners and riders and to talk about who look like potential winners after another very high-scoring match. Before this game, all 6 countries were still in with a chance of making it to the semi-finals. Were Pakistan to win tomorrow, India would be out, so that's incentive enough for them. And as far as today was concerned, well, victory for South Africa would take them through, while a Kiwi triumph would put them in pole position to qualify. No change for the South Africans, the same 11 who beat Pakistan, but their most pressing concern has been a relative failure by their top order. Just 3 50s between them so far. Clusener not out in his last 9 one-day internationals, scoring 113, 35, 13, 35, 12, 52, 48, 52 and 46, which, as you've just worked out, is a total of 396. While Roger Toos has been the key man with the bat for New Zealand, his home ground for many years was Warwickshire, when constantly overlooked by England, and then he emigrated. Like South Africa, their top order's been short of runs, though. Nathan Astle with just 42 in 6 matches to date. Well, Hansie CRONJE won the toss for the South Africans and decided to bat, and we'll join it in the 6th over. Dion Nash is bowling to Gary Kirsten, and our commentary team is Chris Broad, Colin Croft, Jeremy Coney, Barry Richards and Jack Bannister. It's 12 without loss.
Through. Great shot. First shot of authority from Gary Kirsten, just drifting into the pads, Dion Nash. And Kirsten deciding to go over the top. Picked it up quite beautifully, just hit it with the swing, chipped it over mid-wicket. Through again. Suddenly it's all clicking into place for Gary Kirsten. Second 4 of the over for him.
Waiting.
Oh, well fielded. Chris Harris at backward point. Well, he's either got a very big toe or he needs to rearrange his sock. Just poking out the end of his boot. Oh, lovely shot, and again a good bit of fielding by Harris. Well, that's twice in 2 overs he's pulled off very good stops.
But Chris Harris has become invaluable to New Zealand immediately this morning, again saving 2 runs at least, and the return brilliant.
A slower ball, and Gary Kirsten picked it quite beautifully. And also picked the gap. Oh, good running here, it could be close. Well, Herschel Gibbs is very quick, but Geoff Allott had a start on him with the follow-through. Unfortunately for Allott, he missed the stumps.
Geoff Allott was already running when Herschel Gibbs shouted yes. Gary Kirsten is not sure, but he reacts. And I think that you will see that Allott gets to the ball before, and that would have been out had he hit it directly.
Chris Cairns from the City end. Beautiful shot. Herschel Gibbs, not quite to the pitch of the ball. It wasn't really a half volley, but he hit through the line and it raced to the boundary. Oh, it's in the air, but perfectly placed. Well, the lesser pace of Gavin Larson almost bringing the downfall of Gary Kirsten there. So 50 up for South Africa. It's come in the 14th over. Edged and just short. Stephen Fleming, the New Zealand captain, is in there. And it was a genuine edge.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful shot. Lovely timing. Got on the tip of his toes and just punched the ball away through the offside. So plenty of batting to come. Jacques Kallis, who's been in fine form in this competition, Darryl Cullinan, Hansi Cronje, John T. Rhodes, Sean Pollock, all well-known names to English viewers. Well, that's an interesting shot. It was an attempted sweep, premeditated, I feel. And Gary Kirsten just getting a top edge, which very nearly went up into his face, but it was over the keeper's head. And 4 runs. And up and over the top, Gary Kirsten. A couple of bounces and into the boundary. Well, he certainly connected well with that one.
Unlucky. Or could have been lucky if that had hit. This stolen overthrow could have been fatal. That's why it was taken. But it was a late takeoff. And a hit here. Well, who knows? Larson to Kirsten. Well, it was nicely played, but really he was given the line to do it from, because with 4 in the ring offside, the last thing he wanted was to go leg side, and it's cost him 4.
5 last 5 overs for 31 runs. Well, it's not that the bowling's been bad, it's just the singles on offering.
5th New Zealand bowler tried, Chris Harris. Again, the sweep. This was from around about middle and off, so took a bit of a risk. There was some pad there, but he thought it was before bat. Brings the 100 up, and that's only the second 100 opening partnership in this tournament, and the other one also to South Africa. That was against England.
Well, does this hit the pad first? Hits the top of the pad.
.50 for Kirsten. First one of the tournament.
Harris to Herschel Gibbs, and just a full toss, and Gibbs making it quite comfortably out onto the offside. He'll pick 2 runs up here, and this opening partnership is the highest of the competition so far, beating the 111 South Africa made against England at the Oval. Nash to Gibbs, and beautifully struck. Well, that was 4 as soon as it left the bat. Gavin Larson was the fielder out at point, and it brings up Herschel Gibbs 50. Well, an on-song with this next one as well, short from Dion Nash. And Gibbs into a very good position, pulling it away over mid-wicket. He really is in good touch.
Very ordinary bowling. Try to bowl a slower delivery there, roll the fingers around it. Dion Nash, no control. Herschel Gibbs easily put that one away. So successive 4s. And the scoring rate really is accelerating now.
4 more. The 3rd in a row. And really, Dion Nash doesn't know where to bowl to Herschel Gibbs at this moment. They've all been genuine shots, and they've all been put away quite superbly.
Very good scoring rate, starting to accelerate. If you apply the equation of doubling it after 30, South Africa are on for 280.
Still to Gibbs, down the wicket, and this might well have just come off pad. But it's, well, that's a wonderful bit of fielding by Chris Cairns down the boundary. Leg byes has been signalled.
Terrific piece of fielding.
Oh, that's good running between the wickets. Pressure was put on Chris Cairns by Herschel Gibbs, running the first run quickly, and Cairns fumbled, which allowed the second.
Yes, just took his eye off it for a minute and gave Herschel Gibbs, who's very quick between the wickets, to get back. Mind you, it would have been interesting if he'd hit. I think he was in.
And a reverse sweep brings up the 150 for South Africa. Well, I've seen some reverse sweeps in my time, but that's a most unusual shot.
Never a dull moment. The Bob Woolmer invention, the reverse sweep. Plenty of time. The bowling of Chris Harris, very, very medium pace, and the switch of the hands and completely the other way, and he's got away with it. Not straight off the middle. Give the bowler something to think about that.
Well, not much is going right for New Zealand at the moment. A bottom edge, which could have gone anywhere.
They've kept control of the boundaries. There's only been 11 4s hit so far. And for the big one. All the way. First 6 of the innings, and Kirsten's really announced himself there. He's had more of the strike, but he's also used it well. None better than with that shot.
But just in the slot here, might not have gotten hold of it very well, but it was a little bit square than perhaps he expected, but maximum nonetheless.
We're looking for 2. Gibbs is quick.
South Africa's leading one-day international run scorers, and Gary Kirsten just second to Hansie CRONJE.
Another great shot. That was all hand and eye. And another 4 for Gibbs. It's his 6th. Larson from the city end to Gibbs. Careless, absolutely careless, because there was no possible chance of a run out. All he's done is show the strength of his arm at the cost of a run, and he knows it. There goes the sweep, and there he's out. Well, Astle's earned that, if only by virtue of the 2 dot balls that started it all off. And finally success for New Zealand, with Gary Kirsten having played a splendid innings and set up a great launching pad going out to this sort of sweep shot. And he's gone for 82 and 176 for 1 in the 37th.
The presence of Lance Clusener, New Zealand probably will be thinking, well, what do we do with this guy? 210 runs already, and it's not yet been out. He's been promoted to the number 3 spot for the obvious reason that he must accelerate things.
Last time he was out was caught by Roger Toos off the bowling of Jeff Allis, and that was over 4 months ago. Since set up an all-time record in one-day internationals. Soon off the mark because these are short boundaries straight at Edgbaston. Clonk, 4.
Well, Lance Clusener already has his eye in. This is his 2nd delivery. A straight drive. Probably didn't hit it as hard as he wanted. Nathan Astle might have just gotten a hand to it, but it ends up as 4.
Well, that's a wonderful hit, and it's 6. All hand and eye coordination, and that is the real strength of Herschel Gibbs.
Well, Gavin Larson has not done very much wrong here, but Herschel Gibbs just steps into it, a flick of the wrist, timing perfect, and it's deposited over square leg.
Bowled in. We saw at Old Trafford with Moeen Khan that nothing can go on forever, and as he went, the other batting destroyer in this tournament, so has Lance Clusener. Gone for just 1 scoring shot for 4, bowled by Larson, and now 187 for 2 in the 38th.
Well, nothing lasts forever. Moving from number 7 and 8 to number 3 did not work for Lance Clusener. A big gate between bat and pad, and Gavin Larson gets some success. It removes the top of the off stump and the off bail. Lance Clusener is bowled. 187 for 2.
New batsman is Jacques Kallis. Suddenly it's all starting to happen, and you'd hesitate to say that this is a South African innings that could go wrong, because it won't, but nevertheless they're looking for somewhere near 300, and nothing like a couple of wickets to slow things down and perk up the fielding side. So Harris from the pavilion end to Kallis. Harris there, erring in length. Cost him 3. Brings up the 200 and takes Kallis into double figures.
Well, we haven't seen too much indifferent bounce from this pitch, but that one certainly didn't bounce very much. That to Kallis. A bowled right in the block hole. There's not much any batsman can do with a delivery such as that. South Africa just past the 200. And Jack Kallis climbing into Chris Harris here, deciding the slog sweep is the shot to the lack of pace of Chris Harris, and he connected very well.
Well, bat speed here. Look at the advance for a start. The charge of the Light Brigade, and then that's why it's so far in front of square. It's a lack of pace, and also about off stump. Hasn't really connected it.
Well, this is up in the air. This is coming towards the commentary box here. And 6 runs. Well, 2 deliveries from Chris Harris in this over. 1-4, 1-6.
Well, co-commentator Broad has gone a rather sallow colour here as this comes towards us. This is a much better connection from Kallis.
Nice, Great work, Jack.
Well, that's well stopped, but it could provide South Africa with 2 runs, and indeed does. The running between the wickets has been excellent today by the South African batsman. Harris to Kallis, and again he's gone for the big one, and this really is a big one. It's hit the top of the commentary box and has bounced out the ground. So he's just had a sighter, and now he's made it count.
Well, this is a little unusual. I would have thought that Kallis would have been the anchor man, and it would be up to Gibbs, who certainly, while he's getting close to 100, to keep the 4s ticking over. But it's Jacques Kallis there. You can see all the even numbers. I'll look after this end. You're taking it nicely at the other end.
So just the 19 runs off that Chris Harris over. Well bowled, and bowled him beautifully. Well, the end of Gibbs for a very good 91. And Jeff Allott now becomes the highest wicket taker in World Cup cricket with 19. And he deserves the pats on the back that his teammates are giving him.
Well, and what a one to get to. They're just length. And Gibbs unable to get down on that. But Allott just getting the length right.
Cullinan is the batsman coming into the crease. Just 6 overs remaining. Cairns to Cullinan. Oh, no real time to play himself in there, Cullinan. Having a swish at the first ball. Oh, a bowled under chance, and well caught by Chris Cairns. That very good slower delivery that he has in his repertoire has fooled Cullinan. And it just lobbed up tantalisingly in front of Chris Cairns. And what a very good catch.
Well, deceived by pace or lack of it early on in his innings, Cullinan's just pushed forward a little too far. And Cairns, seeing it was tantalising, taken a good catch, caught and bowled, landing a little heavily on the strip beside him. Pleased with that. Cullinan out for naught, 229 for 4.
CRONJE, the South African captain. Well, CRONJE is not bothering playing himself in. A couple of paces down the pitch, and he's just deposited the ball 1 bounce for 4. Ash to CRONJE, and again down the wicket, again over extra cover, and ultimately the same result, 4 more to the South African total. And again CRONJE backing away, they'll look for 2, and they make it quite comfortably. 250 up for South Africa, with a loss of 4 wickets. It's been a very entertaining innings so far. Mr. CRONJE, and he's got hold of this. It's a no ball, and it's gone into the crowd for 6. So an expensive mess by Chris Cairns.
Cronje checking it's a no ball. This is a bit of cricket vandalism, really. Overstepping and having that departing near the lampshades.
Cairns to Cronje, short, and it's got the same treatment. 6 more. Well, 2 great shots from Hansi Cronje, but not great thinking from Chris Cairns. Should have kept the ball up in the block hole.
One thing you can't do is drag it down short. And look, that's given Cronje the time to swing the arms freely.
Well, Jack Kallis is getting in on the act here now. He's adding to the total. That's a wonderful 6, probably the biggest of the over. And the South African supporters are loving it. That man's not. 24 runs off this Chris Cairns over.
Well, here's the third 6. It just shows you just a little bit shorter in length, a wee bit wayward, and that's the response at this time of the innings. That's well back.
In the last 3 overs, 36 runs to the South African cause. And again, a good length. And they're coming back for 2, and that's out. Well, no need to call for the third umpire there. Dion Nash is the fielder, and Hansi Cronje sees the funny side of it. He had to go for it. They really have to try and get as many runs as they can here, South Africa, and there's a good bit of fielding.
Not long boundaries straight here. Nash has got in quickly. You could hear the cry of shoot from the bowler, and he's got a direct hit. Cronje short. Nash was in quickly and throwing on the run. Good view of 3 stumps.
Well, Jonty Rhodes has just come in. He is very fast, but the throw into Kallis's end, and Jacques Kallis showing a turn of speed as well. He makes 50. And again, it's been a wonderful knock from Jacques Kallis with some big hitting. So South Africa's last ball. And again, Jonty Rhodes is very, very quick down to the striker's end. He's back for 2. The throws come to Jacques Kallis's end, but he's home. And the innings has finished. 287 for 5, South Africa, off their full 50 overs. And the crowd standing to their feet to applaud. Good entertainment here by the South African batsman.
Well, a real cameo innings from Kallis at the end, just what you need in a one-day match. His 53 off 36 balls, 93 off the last 10 overs. Kirsten and Gibbs opening stand the biggest of the competition so far. And if you took the 9-1 about Gavin Larson getting Lance Clusener out, well, you're counting your money now. Just the 1 wicket for Allop, but an important one. He's now the leading wicket-taker in all World Cups. And Chris Cairns, seen by many as one of the Kiwis' main figures before the tournament, taking a fearful hammering there, conceding 8 and over. So that was South Africa's biggest score of the World Cup so far. The target almost 6 and over, and surely Bob Woolman's team were thinking they had 1 foot in the World Cup semi-finals as Sean Pollock came in to bowl to Matthew Horn. It's the 2nd ball of the opening over.
Waiting! No!
Rhodes at his best.
So Jonty Rhodes already into the picture. This is just a warmer-upper. This is just the 2nd ball of this innings. Immediately on spot. He's saved 2 runs.
Pollock to Horn. Got that one away. This is how Horn's decided to play. Flashing shot. Pollock to Horn. It's a good shot. Beautifully timed. Next to place of Pollock, bringing that ball nicely onto the bat.
Yep.
Again, nicely timed. This is how Horn started off against Zimbabwe. It's his third four. Kallis to Astor. And a huge shout down the leg side. Astor's not interested, nor Ian Robinson. South Africa are absolutely astonished.
There's a very big noise here and a big shout from the South Africans, but I think you will see from that the ball just clipped the batsman's thigh. I don't think this actually hit the glove at all.
Sean Pollock, he's taken the catch at second slip. Beautiful delivery from Kallis. He's been looking to pitch that away swinger in the right place. He's got it, and that's the end of Horn. And New Zealand now 20 for 1, and we're in the 6th over.
Matthew Horn actually tries to keep this ball down, but Sean Pollock takes a very comfortable catch to his left. He celebrates. Matthew Horn would be a little bit disappointed at that. He's gone for 12. New Zealand are 20 for 1.
New batsman Craig McMillan. Oh, that must be out, or close to it, but no. Venkat says no. Pollock bowls from so close to the stumps, almost in line from wicket to wicket.
Sean Pollock is very close here, but this ball might even have cut a little bit too much. You could see the off stump there, so might just have been missing leg. Might even have been a little bit too high. Umpire Venkat says no.
Kallis to McMillan.
Yep.
There'll be a referral. Took his chances. Certainly was always going for 2.
Well, the first look at this suggests that it might just be out. It is going to be close. The ball is in the wicketkeeper's hand now, and the batsman might just be marginally in. The return comes back from Lance Clusener, and I think he's just made it.
Terrific shot, that really was. It was in the slot, it was going to go.
Craig McMillan, the batsman.
Yes.
He's got this one away, or has he? Well, a fumble from Jonty Rhodes. You don't see that every day. And immediately he apologises to the rest of the South African team, because there could easily have been a run out there. He's down quickly, but just lets the ball go. And there was certain hesitation between the batsmen. And out. Beautifully caught by Cullinan at slip, and New Zealand lose their 2nd wicket.
Well, Astle, I think he may have just played away from himself. No, not too bad actually. It's just been a ball that's left him slightly, and Cullinan was good first slip. He stayed down and taken it very comfortably. So Astle departs. 9, New Zealand 2 for 34 and in trouble.
So some work required now by New Zealand, and New Zealand's captain Stephen Fleming has come to the crease. And the world's fastest strike bowler coming on, Alan Donald. Well, strangely, first ball, Fleming has got it away. The direction not quite right from Alan Donald, and it's 4 runs to the New Zealand total.
Well, there's just a little bit leg side from Alan Donald, and just allowing Fleming to just roll the wrists. Good timing, and it's very quick across the square here. You get good value for runs.
Steve Elworthy is the bowler from the pavilion end. Oh, lovely shot. Well, that was really a stand and deliver type shot. It wasn't a true half volley, but just a fraction of width. Well, the South Africans are celebrating, but umpire Venkat has given a no ball for height, I believe. It went over shoulder high, and immediately it went up over shoulder high. Umpire Venkat put his arm out.
Well, here it is. Yes, McMillan, it's gloved him, and an athletic take by Boucher. But Venkat was quick to assure the South Africans that's a no ball.
Donald to McMillan. There's a man back now after 15 overs. So a good shot, but only one run. 50 for New Zealand. And a loss of 2 wickets. And it's come at a relatively slow pace.
Just stood and flat batted that. It's the longest straight boundary at the city end, but it's still 4. Third 4 for Stephen Fleming. Got it.
Yeah.
Sort of desperation shots now New Zealand have got to try. It's 5 in the ring, no slip. Elworthy to Fleming. That's a better shot. Beautifully timed. He waited for that one. Elworthy to McMillan. Oh, Rhodes got a hand to it. He's done some spectacular things in his career, and that was nearly one more.
He just needed another 6 inches of height. Jonty Rhodes. Brilliant, it would have been. Absolutely brilliant. Just touched it.
That's been coming for a long while because he's faced 43 balls, only for 12 runs before that one.
Backing it.
And that's pretty good bowling from Steve Elworthy. He's had McMillan on the back foot, and that's been intentional. This one's pitched a little further up, trying to induce the drive. McMillan's got enough bat on it to get it over the top.
Donald to Fleming. Well, that was desperation time. Simply had to go once it was pitched up. 5th 4 for Stephen Fleming.
You could see there in Manhattan. New Zealand, they need a few more skyscrapers, I would have thought. South Africa had a few nice big ones at the end of the innings.
Oh, catch.
Well, found the gap on the onside, and it's a much-needed boundary. Certainly took a risk in playing that shot. That's the sort of risks that they have to take at this stage.
There were shouts of catch it here, but the only person who might have caught this would be umpire Venkat standing at square leg. Very well played by Craig McMillan.
Oh, it's in the air, and Herschel Gibbs takes a comfortable catch. Hansi Cronje in his first over picks up the wicket of Craig McMillan, and that is the 3rd New Zealand wicket to fall. Just 93 on the board, so they really are struggling.
Well, it might have been a slow ball here. Craig McMillan again trying to hit the ball over mid-wicket. This time it goes straight up. Very long time to come down to Herschel Gibbs, but look at that. Nonchalant.
Well, this match has any number of players who know this ground well. Alan Donald and Sean Pollock from South Africa have played for Warwickshire in County Championship cricket. Roger Toos also, and he's now at the crease because of this. think that was his off-cutter, and it really did bite into the pitch and deviate considerably.
But because Lance Clusener is a fast bowler, this is an off-cutter. That more was like an off-break.
Stephen Fleming on strike. And the hit straight back past the bowler, hit very hard as well. And, well, how unlucky Alan Donald. Beautifully stopped, but it just went out of his grasp and onto the boundary rope. 100 up for New Zealand, for the loss of 3 wickets.
One-day international run scores for New Zealand. Martin Crowe, 4,704. Good batsman in that lineup.
Fleming in the air and taken by Sean Pollock at mid-on. Stephen Fleming is the man gone, New Zealand's captain, trying to hit out. He's been frustrated for some considerable time. He's now been caught by Pollock off CRONJE for 42.
Well, Stephen Fleming might have been beaten here from the lack of pace and the shortness of the delivery. He tries to hit over the top, just succeeds in giving Sean Pollock a very easy catch. New Zealand 107 for 4.
Well, here's a man who can hit some lusty blows. New Zealand need them. Chris Cairns is the new batsman. Well, one captain to another, and it's the South African captain who comes off the better, because Sean Pollock got in the way of that attempted lofted on drive by Stephen Fleming. Well, up in the air, Roger Twos. And is that going to go all the way? It's very close. In fact, it's not close at all. It's 6. Well, a very clean strike. Well, Cairns is up and over. He's connected. There's no one back. It's 4. Well, Roger Twos getting an inside edge and getting to the boundary, which was the intention in the first place, but not exactly where he wanted it to go.
Lance Clusener is going to be upset at this. Plan is obvious for Roger Twos. Inside edge, he'll take it them however they come. Just missing the leg stump, down to the boundary for 4.
Oh, Twos has got hold of this one. This is exactly where he wanted it to go. Over deep mid-wicket. Just a couple of ounces. Quite a good start to this over for New Zealand.
That's a big one. That's what Cairns and New Zealand want. And Clusener making the mistake on this pitch of pitching short, but has often been on the giving end of an onslaught that Cairns is now trying to mount.
Well, Chris Cairns has been trying to do this for a while. This one he connects. Short of a length from Lance Clusener, dispatched over mid-wicket. It's still going when it passes the boundary.
Bowled him. Fuller length, angling back in slightly, and Cairns goes. The brave effort from him, but of course it's almost lost. He's gone for 17 off only 15 balls, 1614, 144 for 5.
Good comeback from Lance Clusener. Kept his wits about him. Just a little bit of in movement. He bowls from wide of the crease. Chris Cairns looking for that mid-wicket boundary again. And that's a good piece of bowling from Lance Clusener. Real pressure for New Zealand. Chris Cairns there had a lot to do, and Clusener has won the battle.
New batsman, Adam Perori. A good attacking batsman, but like anybody, he needs time to settle in, and there isn't much of that in this innings now. A lack of pace on that. Perari's taking on for 2. Referral, that was always going to be tight.
I think he's out here. When he went to put the bat in to run it, it actually stuck in the ground just momentarily. And I don't think he got his bat over the line. This will be very interesting indeed.
Well gone. And Perori goes a couple of feet short. Really, New Zealand now on the slide. They're 148 for 6. New batsman Chris Harris. Elworthy to Harris. The 150 up. Elworthy to 2s. Well, flat batted in. And may well have broken his bat.
That's 2 bats for Roger Twos. I'm not surprised he's breaking them. This is a terrific shot. Real flat bat, straight over mid-on. The man is very wide, but that has hit so well, he would have had no chance of cutting it off.
All 2s has got to go here. That must be out, and they've gone for a second one. Direct hit, and there was hesitation from 2s in the first place. Venkat's referred.
I think the divers just saved him, but it's going to be awfully close, and this is a good piece of fielding. Herschel Gibbs. Does he get the bat across the line in time? Just. 2 runs the result.
Clusener bowling from the pavilion end to 2s. Should be out. Hansi Cronje takes the catch. That's the 7th one down for New Zealand.
Roger Twos here looking to go over the top again. He's got it plenty of elevation. Not enough length. Just drops nicely into Hansi Cronje's hands. Sore thumb and all. So Lance Clusener strikes again. Roger Twos 35 and 40. He just had too much to do. New Zealand 171 for 7.
Your batsman is Dion Nash.
And this is a big shot. Dion Nash down the pitch a couple of paces over the top.
Slower ball from Cronje. Nash not quite there, but hits through the line.
Bowled him. Well, a slower delivery. And it shot along the ground. Dion Nash had no chance really of hitting that one to the boundary. Clever bit of bowling from Sean Pollock. So the 8th New Zealand wicket falls. 194 on the board.
Well, this is deceptive, isn't it? He just rolled the fingers across, and you can see Nash has been completely deceived. And there you are, there's the pace.
And the new batsman is Gavin Larson. And the single brings up the 200 for New Zealand. Surely an academic target. So last ball, Donald to Gavin Larson, and edged away. And is it going to the boundary? It has. It's gone to the boundary, but it doesn't really make a great deal of difference. South Africa have won the game comfortably by 74 runs, and it's been a very good performance by Hansi CRONJE and his team. Takes them now to 6 points in the group, and they have qualified for the semi-finals.
Well, always chasing the game after that slowish start, and the New Zealanders really looked like being in a position to make an assault on that target. Fleming was the top scorer with 42, but only his partnership with McMillan topped the half-century mark. And there were 2 wickets for the ubiquitous Clusener. He'll get you with the ball if he doesn't hit you with the bat. Kallis was difficult to get away, and his 2 early strikes meant the South Africans were always in control. And not surprisingly, it was he who took the Man of the Match award.